how much would it cost me to build this property? So if you have, and the reason you use the cost approach instead of income approach or market data approach is very simple. It's for special purpose properties. So a special purpose property would be a church, a school, a library, a city hall, okay? So they don't have income, so they're not under the income approach. And how hard would it be to find, let's say that you get a listing of a church. I really doubt that that's gonna happen. I don't know, you may get it. So you get a listing for a church or a school or a city hall. What's the likelihood that you're gonna find a church or a school or a city hall? You're gonna find 3 of them that sold in the last 3 months that are within 300 square feet and within 1 mile. It's gonna be very hard to find 3 of those. So that's why it's special purpose properties. So in order to figure out the cost approach, on the state exam a long time ago, I don't know if it's still on the test, they say, what kind of appraisal would you do for a geodesic home? The first question in your head is, what the hell is a geodesic home? Okay, so a geodesic home, and I've seen 2 of them. There's one in Lake Elsinore. You can see it if you're water skiing on the lake, because that's one of the favorite things I love to do is water ski. And the other one is in Escondido that I've seen. And it was funny because I was driving around a community and I see this house that has a big, huge construction fence around it, and it was a foreclosed home. And I looked over the fence and it was a geodesic home. And what that is it looks like a big white golf ball, literally does. And it looks like it's on a tee and it's sitting there. And so it's very hard to find other geodesic homes. So they have to use the cost approach. How the cost approach works. You have land that it's on, the property, the home or the building is on land. So you get the value of the land. Then you get how much is it gonna cost to build it. So if it's a church, how much is it gonna cost for the pews, the windows? I know you have a question. The pews, the windows, the altar, what's it gonna cost to rebuild that property? And then if your property is 20 years old, you're gonna have to depreciate it, and that's how you get the cost of the building. So you'd have to do the cost approach. Now, one more thing before I take the question is residential homes will usually do the market data approach for the main appraisal, but up in the corner, it'll say the cost approach is this. And the cost approach will have a higher value than the other one, but not by much. They have to be really close. And so the cost approach will be slightly higher, and you need to know that. That's a test question. Where would the cost approach be in regards to the market data approach? And the cost approach would be higher. And I just gave you a bunch of information. I did record it. It will be on YouTube on my website. So I know you have a question.
Will lots of land always be cost approach?
Lot, you mean vacant land? Does it say lots, L-O-T-S? Okay. A lot for land is actually, the lots are normally done. So they say that actually it's a state exam question, is residential and vacant lot is usually done by the market data approach. So the question from the student was, would that be the cost approach? No, because you don't have a building on it, and we have to figure out what the cost of the building is and depreciate it. So there's 3 steps to the cost approach. How much is the land? How much is the building on it? How much does it cost to build the building on it? And how old is it? We need to depreciate it. So there's 3 steps to the cost approach. So vacant land and residential property would be the market data approach. Sometimes they call it the comparable approach. So that's all the 3 main types of appraisals. And you have to know it, like I just rolled it. And you can see, I mean, I've been doing this for 100 years. No, not really. But you can see that I'm like, oh wait, cost approach, market data approach, income approach. Those are the 3 ones. You have to know that. Any other questions on those?
Yeah, for market data, what if there aren't enough properties in the area to appraise?
I got your idea. Okay, so if you don't have enough property, the question is what if there's not enough properties to appraise? Okay, so what the appraiser will do is he will go older. Like if there's not enough comparable properties, he'll go, instead of 3 months out, he might go 4 months out. He'll push it at 5 months. He will not go farther out of the community, but he cannot go more than a mile. So it's better for him to go a little older, or maybe homes in the neighborhood that are a little larger, but not much more than that 300 square feet. So he'll go out on each parameter to get enough comps. They have to have 3. I just had a big, long fight with an appraiser. Was it the appraiser? Yeah, it was the appraiser. So usually, okay, when you guys as real estate agents have the listing, they're gonna make the appointment with you to see the home. But you're not really allowed to speak to the appraiser. But you're allowed to talk to them when you're making the appointment. And at the time of the appointment, if you have a house that's completely flipped, or you know that your home is selling for a little more, but it's selling for a little more because your sellers put all this money into it, they won't give you back all the money they put in it. But what you can say to the appraisers, my clients have done a lot of upgrades. Would it help you if I had them do a list of everything they've done with the cost of it? Because a lot of homes in the area have done that, and that's why they're selling for more. The other thing you could say to them is if your home was completely flipped and you know that there's like maybe 8 comps, but the best 8 comps are these 3 that were flipped and these 3 weren't, and the other ones you don't know, then it'd be advantageous for you as the real estate agent to say, you want to talk to them before they go to the comps. And it's a very fine line of what you can say to an appraiser or not. If they ask you your opinion of the value of your property, you really can't answer, and that's a whole long answer for you. So I think I've given you a lot to think about right now. And then once we get through the appraisal out of the book that you have to know, I think you're going to be loaded with enough information about appraisals to do good on the test. Yes?
Who picks the appraiser?
Who picks the appraiser? Guys, you guys have good questions. Okay, so the buyer who's getting the appraisal done, what they're going to do is they're going to get a loan. Okay, so the buyer is going to hire someone to do their loan. The loan company actually hires the appraiser. I said that wrong, but anyway, the loan company hires the appraiser, but we don't get to pick them. We have to pick it through an AMC. I know that sounds like a theater, but it's not. It's a appraisal management company. So back when the SAFE Act came out and we had to get licensed as loan officers, they also came out with one of the things they felt made the market crash was appraisers either appraising properties too high to push the value or pushing them too low to make a short sale happen. And so they blamed appraisers on a lot of problems. So an appraisal management company is the ones that they rotate the appraisers. So like I literally had a home I had listed on a short sale out in Banning, California. And when the appraiser got there, I asked him what area he was from, and he said Newport Beach. So sometimes you get somebody who doesn't really know the area, and if they don't know the area as well as you know the area, you're supposed to be the specialist if you have the listing. So you don't get to pick the appraiser. Usually the mortgage company picks the AMC, and the AMC picks the appraiser. Any other questions before I go on? Okay, so we're good. So right now we're going to go on.